Children, is the screen visible to you all? Okay. So today we are going to see in your reasoning the next topic, that is inequality, coded inequality. Okay. So first let us see what is inequality. What are we going to do in this topic? Okay. Before that, look at the first question. This is your first question. So your question will be this, and these are your options. Okay, so in your question, you will have two statements, statement 1 and statement 2, and conclusions also, maybe 1 or 2 conclusions. Okay, this is how the question format will be. What does our work here means? You could see the symbols like less than, greater than, equal to, then equal, greater than or equal to. Such symbols will be used, and we are going to compare the elements. Okay, so nothing but what a statement and conclusion means. Statement means something which we define it or which we say. Okay, and conclusion means we are going to cross check whether the given statement is true or false. Okay, so this is our work. You will be provided with the statement and conclusion for your coded inequality, and we have to cross check whether the given conclusions is true or false. Okay, so now as you saw in this topic, you will have the involvement of some symbols like less than, greater than, equal to, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So these are the 5 basic symbols which you will have its usage in this topic. They are nothing but what you have learned in your small grades from your schooling. Okay, this symbols is very much familiar to you. This is what we are going to see here in this topic. So now let's take the first one, less than. So when these symbols are used, one condition is very, very mandatory, that you will have elements on both the sides of it. Let me say that 3 is less than 5. Okay, so I have used the symbol less than, and I have the elements on both the sides of the symbol. Similar way, in your questions, you will have the elements in with the symbols in between, and our work is to cross check whether it is less than or greater than, and the given statement is true or false. How do we proceed to solve this, ma'am? Very simple. You need to remember only one tip. Okay, see here, this is the less than symbol. In less than symbol, you have to remember that this is like a gate. Okay, so at this end the gate is open, and at the other end, that is in the opposite end, the gate is closed. Okay, we are just converting your symbols into some small clues, like remember that it is a gate. Which side is open? The gate is open over there, and the closed end will be the gates are closed. Look at for the greater than symbol. Here from the left, the gate is open. Here the gate is open, and on the opposite side, the gate is closed. Okay, so you are just going to remember the important clue, that is nothing but the gate, whether it is an open gate or a closed gate. Got it? Next thing is for the symbol equal to. For the equal to symbol, the gates are open on both the sides because we don't have any closed end. The gates are not closed. Both the sides are open. Okay, ma'am. Now with this gate, what are we going to do with the sum? How do we proceed on? Very simple. Look at your first question. This is your question. So you are having the statement like this. C greater than A greater than or equal to T. And your second statement is S less than E equal to T. So this is the statement. Statement, as I told you earlier, this is nothing but something which you define, which you say. Okay, our work is to cross check whether the conclusions given are abiding your statement. So look at your conclusion. You have two conclusions here. In these two conclusions, you have the letters of your statement like A greater than E, C greater than S. So we have to just check whether A is greater than E in this given statement or not. If it is yes, then the answer is true. If it is no, then the answer is false. That's all. Okay. Now listen for the letter A and E. You have the letters A and E over here in your question. This is A and this is E. So how do we solve this? Very simple. Okay, start from your conclusion. Always you have to start from your conclusion. So it was like A greater than T. Let us consider this. And if your statement is C greater than A less than T. So remember, how do we solve it? We solve using the gate formula. So if it is a greater than symbol, the flow is from this side, which means you have to cross check from A to T, is there a proper flow or not? Now come back to your statement. Starting from C, the gate is open. So yes, the flow goes on. It starts from left and it goes on. Okay. After A, we have the less than symbol. Less than symbol, this side it is closed and only in this side it is open. So we cannot pass through this way. So what it is understood? The given conclusion is false. It is not true. Okay, because if it is numbers means you can easily cross check. 5 is greater than 3. Like that we can easily cross check. We know that numerical values is already there in our mind and we know how to compare two numbers using less than or greater than symbol. But instead of numbers, you will be given with the letters. And in between you will have the symbols. So how do we know what is the value of A, what is the value of B? We can't predict it. Okay, so that is the reason we are following the gate formula. And if there is a continuous flow when you have to pass from A to D in your given statement, then the condition is that the conclusion one is true, otherwise it is false. Okay, this is the very simple thing. So for greater than symbol, the flow is in this side. So this side is open and this side is closed. For less than symbol, the flow is in this side. So this is the open side and this is the closed side. For equal to symbol, both the sides are open. Okay, you can make a note of this, which side is open for which symbol. Apart from this three basic symbol, we have other two important symbols like less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. What is the meaning of this symbol? When I am writing 5 less than 3, sorry, greater than 3, it makes some sense, right? We know that 5 comes after 3, so that is a greater value compared to 3. Can I write like 5 greater than or equal to 3?
Equal. So greater than and equal.
That makes no sense, right? Because we know that 5 and 3 is a different number and 5 is actually greater than 3. So that will not come. So suppose what is the meaning of greater than or equal to means if I'm writing A greater than or equal to 5. So the value of A can be either 5 or more than 5. That is the meaning of greater than or equal to. Similar way, less than or equal to means if I'm writing D less than or equal to 9, which means the value of D can be like, it can be like 8 or 7 or 6, it goes on, or it can even be 9. So it is like a range, we can't say it correctly. So whenever you're not very sure of your answers, so we can say that time like it is greater than equal to or less than or equal to. Okay, so now let us see how do the gate formula apply to these two symbols in case of your coded inequality topic. Okay, so here the same symbol less than. So in the sense this side the flow is open and this side it is closed. And greater than or equal to means this side the flow is open and this side it is closed. The same thing. Okay, so these two symbols are having certain exemptions which you should remember while solving your sums with these two symbols, that is less than or equal to and greater than or equal to. The remaining three is not a problem at all because they are just single symbols, less than, greater than, equal to, that's all. Here this is like a combo operation, less than and equal to, both are there. So in that case, certain exemption rules are to be remembered. Now let us see what are those exemption rules. The first thing which you should remember here is, for a less than or equal to symbol, it will not pass through the less than symbol, but it will pass through an equal to symbol. I'll tell you with an example, you can understand better at that time. Okay, if this is your statement and if my conclusion is A less than or equal to C. Okay, so what is the rule we have to follow? Open gate or close gate? So here first we have to start always with the conclusion. This is the first step. Start from your conclusion and go to your statement. So here the gate is open this side. So the flow is from C to A. Okay, now look at your statement. From C to A, I have to check whether the flow is going continuously without any interruption, right? So yes, D equal to C. So for the equal to symbol, both the sides are open. So the flow goes on, no issues. From D to A, this side the gate is open and this side is closed in case of less than or equal to symbol. So again, the flow goes on. So no issues. And hence, the given conclusion is true. Okay. So you have to remember one more thing. Suppose if in your conclusion, it is like A less than C. Instead of A less than or equal to C, it is just A less than C. What is the meaning? We have to go from C to A, because this side is the open gate. Now again check whether you are possible to move from A to C, C to A or not. The first thing, you have a equal to symbol. So equal to symbol allows you, right? So you can pass through this. Next symbol, you are having it like less than or equal to, but our conclusion says that it is A less than C. So that is not true. How? Because whenever you have equal to, like if I'm writing A is equal to B is equal to C, can I write like A is equal to BC? Can I write it in that way? Because all the three are one and the same. They are in the equal symbol. A is equal to B, B is equal to C. So I can join them and write A is nothing but B is equal to C. That's all. The same way, this statement given can be written like A is equal, less than or equal to D, equal to C means that is nothing but A is less than or equal to C. So that is only your statement. But compare your conclusion. Is the conclusion and the given statement the same? No. Less than is completely different from less than or equal to. So that is why the given conclusion was false. Okay. So you have to always remember, when you are using the greater than or equal to or less than or equal to symbol, so very, very careful you have to be that for a less than or equal to or a greater than or equal to symbol, it will not pass through the less than and greater than symbol. But whereas it will pass through the equal to symbol, but they don't pass with the less than or greater than symbol. They are entirely different. Okay. Is that clear? Is that clear for you all?
Yes, ma'am.
You will understand it better when we solve more and more sums. Okay. So let's solve it. While solving each and every sum, you will get new ideas, like what are the rules to be we have to remember while solving it. So let's solve the first question. As I said earlier, two statements are given here and two conclusions are given here. Our first step is to start from the conclusion. Okay, so that conclusion is a key lead for us. We have to start from your conclusion. Now look at your conclusion and statement. A greater than E and C greater than S. So the letters combined here are in different statements. A is in statement 1, E is in statement 2, and C is in statement 1, S is in statement 2. How do I compare it, ma'am, when both the elements are not in the same statement? So what is the next step you have to do? Means combine your statements. You have to find out the common term between the each statement and then combine your statement. Okay, now look at which is a common letter. You have the letter T as common. So your statement combined will be C greater than A greater than or equal to T, and you have T in statement 2. So T is actually equal to E and E is greater than S. So while you are combining, you should be very careful about which letter is lesser than to the next element. See, actually S is less than E here. The same meaning should be portrayed when you combine and write your statement. If you make a mistake here, then your answer would be wrong. Okay, so be very careful when you're combining your statements. Now it is easy for us to check for the two conclusions also. So first conclusion, let us check. It is like A greater than E. In case of a greater than symbol, this side is open gate and this side is closed gate. So A greater than E means the flow is from A to E. Now you compare from A to E. Okay, so comparing from A to E, I need to check whether the flow is continuous or not. So first symbol itself is greater than or equal to. Yes, the flow is possible. Next, you have equal to symbol. In equal to symbol, both the sides are also open gates and hence the flow is possible. So I can say that conclusion 1 is true. Yes or no? Can you understand? Are you able to follow?
Yes.
Yes. Now let us check for the next conclusion, that is C greater than S. Okay, again the greater than symbol. So this side, that is from C to S, the flow happens. This is the open gate. This is the closed gate in case of a greater than symbol. The flow is from C to S. Can check whether the flow is from C to S in case of your statement. C to A, there is possibility. Okay, open gate. Again, open gate. Again, equal to symbol means both the sides are open gate. You can flow. And E greater than S. There also the flow is possible. So when I tried to flow from C to S, all the symbols involved over there were open gate and hence easily flown. So conclusion 2 is also true. Okay, so now you have a look at your options given. You will be given with this set of 5 options. Okay. You need to first understand what is each and every option given here. Option A is only conclusion 1 follows. In the sense, on the conclusion 1, A greater than E, only that is true and the second conclusion is false. In that case, you have to choose option A. Option B is conclusion 2 alone follows. It means C greater than S. Only conclusion 2 is true. The rest is false. Option C, either conclusion 1 or 2 follows. This is a very, very important one because many confuse this and option D. Either conclusion 1 or 2 follows and both conclusion follows. Both are having a similar meaning. I underline the word similar. They are not exactly same. They are similar. Okay. So you should not confuse when to choose option C and D. You will have sums, sample sums related to choosing of option C and D. I have at the back. Let us get it in detail when we solve that. So either or, which means like any one of the conclusion may be true. Like any of the conclusions is enough to solve this sum. Like that in that sense means option C you can tick. It is not mandatory like only conclusion 1 and only conclusion 2. Both are also is correct. In that any one if you give also the answer is solved. Like that if you come across to a conclusion means then you have to choose to option C. Okay. Sometimes both conclusions also will be true. In that time, you can choose option D. So most probably remember one thing alone, one small tip which I'm telling you is, in case of you're choosing option D, both conclusion means, then in your conclusion statement of your given question, the terms will be different. Like the elements are different. You will have questions having conclusion of the same terms, like conclusion 1 as A greater than E and conclusion 2 as A less than E. That is the same elements are used. Okay, and then two conclusions are derived from there. Such type of questions is also possible. So if you have different elements means you can choose, if they are true means both A and B, that is conclusions also follow option D. Option C is when means when you have the same element. Got it? Neither of the conclusion follow means both conclusion 1 and 2 fails. They are false. That is the meaning. As far as this question is considered, which is the correct answer? Which option is the best one, the most suitable one as far as this question is considered?
Option D.
Option D. Very good. So it is option D because both the conclusions were true.
Follow.
Yes. Move on to the next question. Yes. So here is another sample question. I was just explaining you regarding the options, no? The same thing has come here. See, look at your conclusions. You're having the two elements, only I and L over here, and they have been made into two different conclusions. Conclusion 1 is I less than L, and conclusion 2 is L is equal to I, which is nothing but I is equal to L. So what is our work here? Here only one statement is given. So simple. Okay, one statement, no need to worry. Just check for your conclusions and derive the best option. Okay, so as I told you already, you should have some attention when you're choosing the option C and E. That is both the conclusions are true and either or. So there, whenever you're choosing, you should pay some attention, think well and choose. The same way, when you have the same elements, what you have to do is, you have to first verify whether conclusion 1 follows. Then conclusion 2 follows. Then the combined conclusion of these two, because they both are the same elements, you can combine the conclusion. If I combine so, then my conclusion will be I less than or equal to L. Got it? So this three thing you need to check in case of same elements. Okay, so let us check it. First one, what is the first conclusion? It is I less than L. In that case, the flow is from this side, L to I, because the open gate in case of a less than symbol is from the right. L to I, if there is a flow or not. This is what we are going to check. Look at your statement. This is L. Okay, this is I. So draw a line in which direction you have to cross check. Okay, so from L to I, you're just cross checking. If I wanted to cross check, I should not stop with that. Again, check between the in between elements from L to I. So L to O, the flow is possible because the gate is open this side, greater than or equal to. So next O to W also the flow goes, W to I also the flow goes. Yes, so hence conclusion 1 is true. Check for conclusion 2. What is the conclusion 2 we have? L is equal to I, which means I is equal to L. So both the sides are also open. Okay, so we need to check whether there is like equals, like both the sides are also open in case of L to I. So check again for L to I, is the both the sides open or not? So L to I and I to L also, both the way you have to check. You have the equal, greater than or equal to, that side is A. So the flow is possible when you start from L. O to W also the flow is possible. W to I also the flow is possible. Now, in case of an equal to symbol, what did I say? Flow is possible on both the sides. Check from I to L now. Yes, there also it is possible, because in all these three symbols we have the equal to, greater than, or equal to. Next, combined conclusion check. So conclusion 2 is also true. Combined conclusion. What is the combined conclusion in case of this question? I less than or equal to L. I is less than or equal to L. So L to I have to check whether there is less than or equal to symbol. Like whether they both are abiding the symbol, like equal to, if it is coming also it can pass through, and less than or equal to symbol is coming also, it can pass through. But there should not be any symbol involving the less than. I told you in the beginning itself, in case of greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, these two symbols and all, some exemption rule is there. That is, this symbol will not pass through greater than or less than. So it can pass through any other symbols. That is the third check we are doing. Combined conclusion check is nothing but in between L and I, whether any less than symbol is coming or not, or greater than symbol is coming or not. So if I check, there is no such kind of symbols. All the symbols used here are greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So that is also true. Okay. So now what would be your most suitable option? You have all the three conclusions also checked. They are all true. So which is the best suitable answer? Come on. Which option is the best? It is option C. You may say, ma'am, how come? Conclusion 1 is also true, conclusion 2 is also true, and the combined conclusion is also true. So it means like both conclusion 1 and 2 are true, right? Why do you choose option C? Because I told you again, an exemption rule, if they are of the same elements in your conclusions given, conclusion 1 and 2, they have the same elements, means either, if they are true, means either of the conclusion can hold true. So if only one, I less than L alone, if I'm taking also, they hold true. If L is equal to I alone, if I'm taking and checking, means they also hold true. So either of the conclusion is true. That is the meaning. So now please be very clear. If all your conclusions are true and if the elements are same, then you have to choose option C. Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Are you clear?